That's why the day of Shavuos, the day of the giving of the Torah, it's not mentioned in the Torah because it's something that's not mentionable. It's not something that's you're able to verbalize, to put syllables to that. It's something that is elusive. And that's why in the first blast of Mount Sinai, the Torah came in 10 commandments that was balled up into one statement that penetrated us, that changed our stature forever. When we had that one pop out, that forever, and we were all there, etched into our souls on a deep level that there is something higher. We, on a spiritual, subconscious level, all experience that breakout, that bust out, that there's something higher and beyond this world. And then, afterwards, God spoke out all of the 10 commandments, but the first two we heard directly from God, we understood it innately, and the other 8 Moses explained. Now, in general, the 10 commandments correspond to all of the mitzvahs. But why the first 2 we heard directly from God? The first one is Anochi, that I am God, the belief in God, that we believe that this is not all that we see, there's something more. And the second one is Lo Yilecha, don't serve idols. Meaning you could believe in God, but you could say there's God, the most dominant force, but there are other smaller forces around. No, we believe that this is all that there is. There's all one, that it's all connected. These 2 realms we heard directly, they're etched inside of us. If somebody needs IV, so you put a port in their arm, and then anything that they need to have, you'll be able to put that in an intravenous manner. We, in our souls, heard not from Moses, not from a prophet. We ourselves experienced this cosmic beyond time and nature realm, and in that we clearly understood there is, and therefore I will not acknowledge other things. There is a unifying force that gives us life as we speak now, and there isn't anything else. I don't acknowledge there are other forces. I see it fully and clearly as all one. All positive commandments are rooted in that first one of Anochi, the belief. Everything you do in a positive sense, you're establishing. Every mitzvah, every action you do, you're establishing that belief. And don't have false gods. Every time you refrain from doing a negative act, you're not believing in a false god. These are the first 2 primary realms. So that's why the giving of the Torah on Mount Sinai had to be a not physical bound zone. We ask the question, why do we find these anomalies specifically by the giving of the Torah? That God gave over the Torah in one sentence, all of the 10 commandments, what a person couldn't speak? Why? We were all there. Why all of a sudden does time stop and that all souls come together? A sound goes out and it keeps going. It's not bound by time. Why is there the breaking of time and space in this zone? The answer is because this is the crack in the wall, the crack in the ceiling. This is where we get the directions of how. We learned from the going out of Egypt that there's a world beyond this world. But how? How do I connect that? That will be a tease if you just tell me, yeah, there's a world beyond this world, but I'm not going to tell you how to get there. No, that there's a world beyond, that we learned from the going out of Egypt. How we connect to that realm that is beyond this realm, that we received on Mount Sinai. That was our connection point. And that's why there's no bound. We were all there because for us to function, we all need to experience it. Wait a second. How could I be there? I'm here. Because time is an illusion and a quantum entanglement sense. We're here and there's another dimension as we speak where we're not here. And that's possible. The belief in that there is something beyond gives us this possibility, not in a Back to the Future time travel sense, but in a real sense, we go beyond this world. So for all of us in the now, it's the realization that we don't learn Torah, we remember it. Something different. We don't learn it, oh, this is something new I never heard before. We remember it. We regain what we lost. We all have the port in our brain to receive it. And in a microcosmic sense, that was it. That was the concentrated drop of the blueprint of how we connect to that world. And now when you study one word of Torah in every place, that word that you study is connected to the whole thing. This is all you hear, this is worth it. When you study something specific, I'm studying the laws of giving charity. Well, that's not the whole purpose of the universe, but everything when it was given was all connected as one. So when I learn something that's specific, it appears to be as being specific, but it's not specific. It's part of something bigger. Laced into these words of Torah, there is a cosmic ability to connect to a consciousness that is beyond this world now, at this moment. When we learn, we connect. That's why the blessing that you say before you learn Torah is, we say, Asher Bachar Banu, that he chose us from other nations. V'nasan lanu es Torah so. Nasan, past tense. He gave us the Torah. But then when we make the blessing, how does it end off? Baruch atah Hashem, no saying HaTorah. He gives the Torah. Wait a minute, flag. That's grammatically incorrect. You just said past tense. God gave us the Torah. Now you're making a blessing. God gives us the Torah. The first thing is historical, and the second thing is actual. Historically speaking, God gave the Torah, but that reality was given in a zone that does not know time. And therefore, me in this now, I'm receiving it now. No saying HaTorah means it's happening as we speak in the present tense. We have the ability to connect to that reality. So that, as we mentioned before, that when you count the letters of the 10 Commandments, it happens to equal 620. Count the letters, you have the sheet, 620 corresponding to the 613 mitzvahs plus the 7 mitzvahs that all of humanity is commanded in. That's a icing on the cake, that's the ice cream at the end of a meal. But to see the correspondence, it goes again with what we said. Things that have a purpose have a pattern. There are 613 mitzvahs. There are 7 mitzvahs that all nations are obligated in. That equals 620. The exact letters in the 10 Commandments in every Torah and every synagogue throughout thousands of years are 620. It shows the correspondency that it's all ultimately one. And the ice cream on that cake is that when you take the number 620, that spells, all the great Kabbalists speak out, that spells the word keser. Keser means a crown. The crown that a person wears is when that light that we received on Sinai shines through us. What's a crown? Crown, I don't understand that concept. Burger King gets a hat, or what is that? The concept of a crown is that it's something that beautifies your head. The most important part of your body is your head, your brains. That's who you are. That's where your soul exists. But the crown that a person wears is when they're connected not just to what, but to how. That they, not only do they know that there is something beyond, but they know how. And when you connect to that light within, so that's the crown that a person wears. I don't want to wear a crown. That's uncomfortable. I wouldn't be able to balance a crown. I wouldn't want to be a king. How do you balance a thing? That wasn't made for human heads. The concept is that, no, it's a metaphor that the glory of a person's head, who they are, ultimately comes when they connect to this purpose. So that's the Reader's Digest check that I'm delivering. Meaning, It's not just, that's a very nice culture you guys have. I respect it. I'm proud of my culture. And if I'd be Estonian, I would be proud of Estonian culture too. No, it's something deeper that is relevant to the purpose of the universe and something that's pivotal for all of us to actually get through life in a maximum way. There is something bigger than us as we speak, and access is there. I would love to go to a concert and wear an all-access pass. That's what I want. I don't want to just be limited there. I want all access. I could go anywhere I want. I have access. I have access. You have access. It's accessible. And it's not just accessible in a degree where you go for a PhD and maybe after many years you'll see the fruit of your labor. It's something that when you connect to it in any way, you are connected to the whole. Let me say that in an underline, italics, bold way. When you're connected to any part of it, you're connected to the whole, because concepts of division are only relevant to a physical world. Only in a physical world is there this and that and this and that, big and small. But in a world beyond the physical world, there is no big and small. It's all one. So whatever you study, whatever you learn, whatever you put your mind towards, you're not just connecting to philosophy that's nice, poetry that's ethical. You're connecting to a system that is a port which connects you to a dimension that is beyond this world, and that is our ultimate purpose.